This is going to be a good game, folks. Sunday night football. The Indianapolis Colts visit the San Francisco 49ers. Huge game for both teams. A lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another video with your boy Shifty. This time we're going to be previewing the matchup between the 2-4 Indianapolis Colts and the 2-3 San Francisco 49ers, which we will be playing. It's going to be Sunday Night Football at Levi's Stadium. Really close matchup when I started looking into the numbers. The offenses, statistically at least, are very similar to one another. The Colts and the Niners are like neck and neck on almost everything. Yards per game, they're very similar. Points per game, it's within like 0.5 of each other. Running, the Niners have a little bit more, and I think the Colts are maybe just a little bit above in passing. So in that aspect, it's really going to come down to which defense will play better. So then what I did was I looked into the numbers there for the defense, and while the Niners give up less yards statistically per game, the Colts have been giving up quite a few less points per game. So, with the Niners, it doesn't help that the turnover differential has been so bad for them. But so the Colts are tending to give up more, maybe like longer drives, but maybe holding teams to field goals, whereas the Niners have been giving up more touchdowns. Overall, though, across the board, it is a super close, even matchup. So some of the things now that I want to talk about are going to be the key matchups for the San Francisco 49ers, who they will need to stop, and then we'll talk about what the Niners need to do in order to get the win. So with the Indianapolis Colts, everything runs through Jonathan Taylor, like literally runs through Jonathan Taylor. He is by far their number one rusher. He's amassed most of their rushing yards. Nyheim Hines has a few, but mostly it comes down to Jonathan Taylor. He's averaging over 5 per carry, so that's going to be something really big that the Niners have to stop the run. Not only that, though, Jonathan Taylor is actually number 2 in receiving yards for that team as well. I think that was largely helped because he had like a 70-yard reception recently, but overall, he's still number 2 in receiving for that team, so he is the guy the 49ers have to focus on. Kind of delving into the numbers a little bit more too, I think in the red zone, the Niners have to be super aware of 2 guys. You have wide receiver Zach Pascal and then tight end Mo Alley-Cox. Those are the 2 guys the Niners have to look out for in the red zone. Receiving, they're actually the top 2 guys for the Colts. So that's going to be the 2 guys that they just really have to zero in on, of course, with Jonathan Taylor. So it's a pretty big ask, but I am super encouraged because the Niners defense played really well against Arizona, which might be the best offense or one of the best offenses in the NFL. That's just really difficult to stop. So I really do like the Niners' chance to limit them. I mean, we're not going to shut them out or anything, but I do like our chances to limit what the Colts can do and hopefully come away with a W. So it's going to be a good game. The Niners defense really has to do something that they haven't done all season long. They got to force turnovers. They got to intercept Wentz. Here's the tricky part. So looking at Carson Wentz stats, he has only thrown 1 pick all season long. So the Niners will have to get consistent pressure. I think D'Amico will need to, maybe with the bye week, he'll be able to mix things up. So to maybe confuse Wentz a little bit. You just can't come out with a plain vanilla defense, which I think to a certain degree we've been doing. But we really have to throw some things at Wentz that he's not going to expect. Of course, guys like Bosa, it's going to be huge if they get pressure. We're going to have, D Ford. Hopefully he has a big game as well, and he gets to play quite a few snaps. What's really good news is that it looks like K'Wan Williams is going to be back for this game, so that'll be huge to have that veteran guy at the slot corner position. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him coming on a couple of blitzes off the edge, maybe just to, again, throw something at Wentz that maybe he's not expecting, force some mistakes, and get the ball in our offense's hands. Now, what the offense will need to do in order to have some success against the Colts. Well, the Colts have had quite a few turnovers for us, so we got to play mistake-free football. We can't have those back-breaking turnovers. We can't have those, back-breaking penalties where we have a big play, but then it's like a holding on the offense, and then it just shuts down a whole drive. I think we really have to, and hopefully this will be the case coming off the bye and having some extra time to prepare for it. But I think we really have to just come out, get some early scores, get that confidence going. And of course, and I haven't even mentioned it, it's going to be Jimmy G who's going to get the start. Looks like Lance will be out for a couple of weeks. So it's actually going to be just a straight up Jimmy G game. Unfortunately, we won't even have Lance to come in and maybe throw in, a couple of like quarterback runs, RPOs, or what have you. So it's going to be straight up on Jimmy. I think they will lean heavily on Elijah Mitchell, Trey Sermon as well. It's another game that George Kittle will be out for, which is a bummer. But we've seen Jimmy have some success before without Kittle. And I think you expect Ross Dwelly. He's going to get a lot of targets this week. And then that the Colts are going to be doing whatever they can to shut down Deebo Samuel. Obviously, he's by far our number one receiver this year. So really, really hoping, and I know I did a video on Brandon Aiyuk, so I'm really hoping this is a game where, like, again, with the bye week, some extra time, maybe you throw in some plays specifically to get the ball in Ayuk's hands. He had some big plays against Arizona, the third down play, the 2nd and 25. So hopefully we have more plays drawn up for Aiyuk, and we're really going to need him to step up big. And then the other guys, we can't have Mohamed Sanu having like a back-breaking drop that just stalls the drive. We can't have Travis Benjamin doing whatever. The offense has got to be super consistent. We need this win. I think it's definitely winnable game. These teams are really close. It's going to come down to who can limit mistakes and then on our own, but then also force mistakes to the other team. And we have to be aggressive. We have to come out, gunslinging, and then really stamp our authority on the game. We're at home. It's a nationally televised game. Let's get the Niners back ready, rocking and rolling, back to winning ways. And look, if we win, we're 3-3. Obviously not the best start to a season, but there's a lot of football left. There's still 11 games. Next week we got a fairly winnable game against Chicago. Then we can maybe start looking at a winning record. So I do see a lot of positives. I think the bye week did come at a pretty good time for us because we were just in a bit of a downward spiral. Things weren't looking great, but they just need to come out on fire, locked and loaded, ready to go. If we can get a big win at home, then I really like our chances moving forward because the schedule gets a whole lot easier. The only real tough games that we're going to have left are going to be the 2 games against the Rams, and we have one more game against Arizona. Initially, I thought the Bengals game would have been an easy one, but they're actually looking pretty darn good, so that'll be a pretty tough game. The rest of the games, though, are very winnable. We play the Jaguars and the Texans, so I think now's the time. We got to get some positive momentum going, and it's going to be great too having some guys coming back like K'Wan Williams. So overall, I think the Niners do pull out the win. My prediction would be 49ers 27, Colts 23. It's going to be back and forth a lot, and really hoping the Niners get this W because we're going to need it. And hopefully Jimmy can play mistake-free football. So it's a big game, Sunday Night Football. Can't wait to see it. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts on the game, who you think's going to win, who are some of the key guys. For me, if I had to boil it down to 3 players for the Niners, it's going to be Bosa on the defense. It's going to be Brandon Aiyuk on offense, and then it's going to be D'Amico Ryans. Can he throw in and force some Colts turnovers and really up this defense to the next level? Because I think he's done good, but now to be great, we got to have those big plays. So I'd love to see some big plays out of the defense. And Fred Warner, he's due for some game-changing plays. So that's about it. That's going to do it for me in this video. I'm going to shoot to have another video out before the game, maybe talking about some other things related to the Niners or the NFL at large. Again, I thank anyone who checks out the video, who likes the video, who subscribes to the channel. It's awesome to see the support. Let's keep it going. And yeah, go Niners, and let's get back to winning ways. Let's do it.